Hey guys, what's up? It is I, once again, MR.GAMER 990 at your service. And today guys, I posted on Twitter and ZTM, the group on Google Plus I'm on, that I was going to make a video where I talk about the games that make me cry, the feels. And this kind of video is something that came to mind and something I was inspired to do because after recent events in my life that really affected me personally and the people around me, I felt the need to express my love for the games that are very personal and dear to me, and games that I consider the only few games among many games I played that really made me cry genuinely and had me bawling my eyes out. I wasn't just crying in these games, I was sobbing and I was going through a lot of emotions as I played these games. I'll mention this video, but guys, I didn't know how I was gonna make this video to begin with. I could have gone into detail with the story or with like the moments in the game that got to me, but that would include spoilers, and I didn't want to make a spoiler-filled video. So what I intend to do right now is make that video, the games that make me cry, the feels, by mentioning 10 games on my list right here. As you can see, these 10 games I'll mention. I'll try to describe the plot and say why I love it and why it is great to me and why it affected me emotionally in every way possible. So here we go. And keep in mind guys, this kind of video is my opinion, and the games I played, whether on the PS2, the PS3, the Xbox 360 or what have you, they are my personal opinion. And I haven't played many PC games, but I would like to, and I'll try to in the future. But anyways, let's begin. At number 1, we got The Walking Dead game by Telltale Season 1. And guys, The Walking Dead is a story that revolves around a convicted felon named, a convicted murderer named Lee Everett, and the bond he formed with a young girl, Clementine. And that bond right there is what got me hooked on the game and made this game better than Season 2 in my personal opinion. And The Walking Dead has a lot of things it's known for, whether it be the mechanics, the visuals, or just like the bond between these two characters, Lee and Clem. And I love this game more than any other game of its kind because of the way it handles the characters and the emotions and the story in general. I love this game guys. That's The Walking Dead Season 1 for you by Telltale Games. At number 2 we have Heavy Rain, and Heavy Rain is an interactive drama much like Beyond Two Souls, another game on my list. But Heavy Rain is a story that focuses on the missing children who've gone missing and have eventually died at the hands of the Origami Killer. And you play several characters in this game, 4 characters actually, but the one character that got me hooked on the game and his story is the character of Ethan Mars and the bond he has with his little boy, his son, one of 2 boys, one of who he lost from a tragic accident that happened prior to the game. And I felt so sad by that moment. But the one thing about this game that had me immersed in the story and how much I began to interact with these characters is the storyline of Ethan Mars and the bond he has with his little boy. And this game is powerful, it's emotional, it's on my list because it really does tackle the human psyche and emotion. It's a great game guys. at number 3 we have Mass Effect 2. I'm not going to go into much detail with this game, but let me just say that I wasn't crying. I was crying a lot of times in every one of BioWare's game, including Mass Effect 2. But this game, what got me the most personally, emotionally, mentally, every way, is the DLC content in Mass Effect 2 titled Project Overlord. That DLC, I'm not going to spoil anything. That DLC, I will say though, is something that really got under my skin, not because of how disturbing it was or how creepy it was, but because of how it shows us a side to humanity that really is shocking, and how much people are capable of doing horrible things to each other. And that is what got me, guys, in the DLC of Mass Effect 2 Project Overlord, and why Mass Effect 2 is, in my opinion, the best game produced by BioWare, better than the Dragon Age series and better than the other Mass Effect games. Mass Effect 2 is my favorite of the BioWare games for that very reason, guys, and I love the characters and the story. Mass Effect 2 is a masterpiece. And at number 4 we have Red Dead Redemption. This game, Red Dead Redemption, is a game which I feel has probably one of the best endings in any games I played, and that ending is when John Marston he confronts his demons, his personal conflict, and how it all led him up to his family, and what happens after he settles down with his family and tries to start a new life, and what happens in the aftermath in that scene is just so sad, guys. I'm not going to spoil anything once again, but that part of the game, the ending that builds up to the very end of the game, it's so sad, it's so heartbreaking, and it's not a happy game, guys. If you look closely at the ending and how the game plays out, it's actually a very dark game, especially set in the Old West. And the Old West, guys, was basically like the dark ages of the United States of America, and how America was starting to rebuild itself after the outlaws are starting to become less and less, and how America is evolving. But John Marston's time is up, and how he starts to redeem himself, but redemption doesn't come that easily. It doesn't. And Red Dead Redemption is, in my opinion, the best game Rockstar produced. All those GTA crappy games they made, I don't like them all that much, but this game, Red Dead Redemption, is a masterpiece, and a game I consider the best. And why I love this game is because of the characters, the story, and everything that they capture, and how real these characters are. And guys, this game is awesome. And at number 5 we have Final Fantasy X. This game is the best of the Final Fantasy series, and it's also the game that has a character that's kind of mixedly received by people. Some people hate this character and some people love him, and that character is Tidus. And Tidus is a character who in the game hates his father, Jecht, the main antagonist of the game, and Jecht and Tidus had never seen eye to eye, but by the end, the way that story concludes with their characters and their character arc is just so beautiful. It's so... I was crying this scene not because I was sad, I was crying this game because I was sad, but that ending just had me crying with joy, guys, and this game is just so beautiful, guys. It's so beautiful. At number 6 we have Way of the Samurai 2. One of the most underrated games I played from the PS2 console, and still one of the best games I played because how it applies RPG elements with a samurai hack and slash fighting style game. And I love this game a lot, guys. It has a lot of ways you can play it, and the choices you make and the actions you take, typical of RPG games. But The one storyline my brother and I consider the main storyline, the one true storyline, is the story concerning the rogue samurai warrior who comes into Amahara and meets a young girl named Sayo. And the way you teach Sayo to read and write, and the way she ends up happy with you by the end, and how she wishes to join you in your journey, going from place to place beyond Amahara. That kind of storyline and game is something I love, and it captures the heart that I really want to see in characters in any game, especially games nowadays that are more heavy on emotions and storytelling and character arcs, the way movies handle those kind of elements and telling a good story. And Way of Samurai 2 is the best example I can give on the PS2 console, right next to Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. And Way of Samurai 2 is an awesome game, guys. It really is. At number 7 we have Ico, and Ico, guys, is a game which I consider another one of the classic games on the PS2 console. A game that was under development for a very long time, until finally Fumita Ueda took the time and effort to create a game which really it's a kind of game which affected people in various ways, and how this game is part of their two-game series, a series known as the Team Ico Project. And they also made Shadow of the Colossus, and many people love Shadow of the Colossus because of how it's more action-packed, it has a lot more epic feel to it. But Ico is a shorter game. It's very minimal in its action and story, but it's a game I still love because the bond between Yorda and Ico, especially in how the majority of the game it focuses on their character with no dialogue, no choice making, no drastic change of story, just two characters holding hands with each other for the majority of the time, holding hands, and that's enough to tell you these characters care about each other. And as the story goes on, and the way that they get separated and them holding hands is no longer there, it's something that really got to me, guys. And the way the story ends, the way the story of Ico ends is just so sad, it's so heartbreaking. And it got to me, guys. I love this game. As sad as it is and as tragic as it is, it's a masterpiece in storytelling. It's a masterpiece in telling a story that doesn't have to have dialogue or choice making. And I love this game, guys, because of that. Ico is so great, guys. It is so great. And at number 8 we have Beyond Two Souls, another game produced by Quantic Dream I love. And Quantic Dream are known for making games that applies choice making and applies elements in storytelling that you wouldn't normally see in any game, especially RPG games. And that's when your character dies, or when your character makes a choice that you can't take back, you have to live with that consequence, the same way people in real life make a bad choice or good choice, and they live with it for the rest of their life. And this game, Beyond Two Souls, what got me into this game has a lot of problems, guys. It has so many problems. My brother and I hate this game for many reasons, but the one thing we both love about this game and call it a good game because that one thing we love is the character of Jodie Holmes. And Jodie Holmes is played so well by Ellen Page, one of my favorite actresses of all time. I love Ellen Page and I love Jodie Holmes. The character she plays is so great. Jodie Holmes is one of the most relatable characters I have seen personally in any game I played, and I love this character and the journey she goes on, and how she becomes a stronger woman by the end, and how she overcomes her demons and her tragic life and makes the best out of it. And there's a character. I love Jodie Holmes, and you know what? I love Quantic Dream's Beyond Two Souls. At number 9 we have The Last of Us. Naughty Dog's best game in the entire resume, and a masterpiece in the action-adventure, like a platformer game where you have two characters like Ellie and Joel, two characters who are at first very distant. They don't like to talk to each other, they don't like to see eye to eye with each other, and they have a lot of issues with one another. But as the game goes on, as Joel is trying to smuggle this young girl Ellie to pass the quarantine zone and across to this area, the many areas they encounter, to the Firefly headquarters, and they start to bond with each other, and they start to form a friendship that grows into a family type of bond, where Joel becomes like a father figure to Ellie, and Ellie essentially becomes Joel's daughter by the end of the game. Especially how Joel lost his first daughter, Sarah, from a tragedy of the apocalypse that started the viral infection. And this game is sort of talk about, but the character of Joel, whether good or bad, is doing everything in his power to protect Ellie. Not because he's selfish, because he's trying to protect Ellie. And that's the kind of thing me, myself, who aspires to be a father and a husband to either a man or a woman, I always want to have my own little girl and to protect that girl. And the character of Joel, not Ellie, the character of Joel is what got to me the most. And he made Ellie a better character, in my personal opinion. And them meshed together is what made The Last of Us a masterpiece. The story is cliched, as a lot of like cliche and a lot of like typical things you see in an action game, and a lot of like cliche lines, but this game is a masterpiece and gets a 10 out of 10 stars from me because the characters, the setting, the action, and this game is Naughty Dog's masterpiece, and 1,000 times better than the Uncharted series. I love Uncharted, guys. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. I have some problems with Uncharted 3, but The Last of Us, whether the remastered edition or the original edition on the PS3, is a masterpiece and something other games should take notes from. Yeah. Finally, at number 10 we have one of my favorite games of all time, and a game I consider a masterpiece and a true example of a game that can really make you cry and get you so emotional that it wrecks you inside. And that game is Hideo Kojima's masterpiece, one of his many masterpieces, Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. The sequel to Metal Gear Solid and an installment in the Metal Gear Solid franchise, a series I love so much and consider my favorite of any game franchise out there. And Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty has one moment in the game where you have Archon / Hal Emmerich, who has a sister in the game named Emma Emmerich, and Emma gets stabbed by this psychotic guy named Vamp, and she dies in Archon's arm after telling him something about their past and how she never meant to hurt him or get in his way, and she still loves him as his brother and her brother, and how she wants him to call her Emma. For once in her life, she wants her brother, Hal, not Archon, Hal, to call her Emma by her real name. And the way Archon reacts to that, and the way how after Emma takes his glasses off and drops it in the ground, oh my god, guys, that just crushed me. That really did crush me. And especially as Archon is shaking her, trying to wake her up, but she's actually dead. Guys, even now, after I finished this video and I finished editing the video, I was still crying that one scene in Metal Gear Solid 2 when Archon, Hal, lost his sister Emma. No game has always made me cry, even if I think about it right now, the way Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty has. And Sons of Liberty is one of the best games I have played because of how, once again, it's hard to talk about, but it tackles the human emotion, psyche, the way movies do, and this is an example of a game that tries to take on like elements from movies and try to add interactive gameplay and cool action visuals like that. But that part of the game where Archon Hal loses his sister Emma, that is something that got to me, and I cried, guys. I was just crying. I was bawling my eyes out. I was sweating a lot. I was literally going through a hard period in my life, especially since this game came out in sometime around 2001. I was very young at the time, guys. I was very young, but that scene took me a while to get over. It's not just a game to me. This game is one of the few games in my life I'll say is a real story about real people, about real issues others go through. And as much as people love The Last of Us or like Beyond Two Souls or like any other game they love, Metal Gear Solid, the Metal Gear Solid series is what made games nowadays great. They paved the way for other games to get better. And guys, I might get some controversy because of this, but this game franchise, Metal Gear Solid, is what made other games better. It paved the way for other games, the same way Resident Evil and Silent Hill paved the way for other horror games to follow. And Metal Gear Solid is the best franchise in my opinion, and Metal Gear Solid 2 is a true masterpiece in action, storytelling, and the music and everything about this game I love, especially in the way it handles the characters, the interaction, and the moments in this game are just so heartbreaking. I love Metal Gear Solid 2, guys. Sons of Liberty is one of the best games I played for a damn good reason. For a very damn good reason. Anyways, guys, I'm done. Thank you for watching. If you like my video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, check my other channel out, Joseph Cohen Mason, where I talk about movies, anime, and television. And I plan to review an anime called One Week Friend on my other channel. Check that anime review out if I have it uploaded soon. Until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. Peace out, take care, adios amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.